Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Ham Radio Basics Live, Season 2, Episode 27, Ham Radio News and Updates, 8/28/2024. Very special broadcast tonight because we're not only broadcasting on Ham Radio Basics, we're broadcasting on Bill the Technology Reviewer as well. So welcome to those of you who are watching me through that. I know we got some guys in here. Let's see who's here. I think I saw Cooley's here and Jeff is here. Welcome, guys. Thanks for stopping by tonight. Got a few things to talk about, and then I'm going to be spending quite a time talking about the releases because that was big news because we had the Tokyo Ham Fair last week. James, welcome. Good to see you tonight. Thank you for stopping by. Awesome. Didn't get out to Huntsville. I think you guys know that. But everything I saw from the videos and pictures and everything, you guys had a great time out there. I think that's going to be on our list for next year. Instead of going to Hamvention, I think we're going to go to Huntsville. Never been there. I think that ought to be a good, it ought to be a little mini vacation for us as well because I'm a big outer space fan and NASA fan, and they have a nice facility there and lots to do. So we're looking forward to that. So that's going to be on the books for next August. So that's going to be good. So let's see here. Take a look here. I do have a few updates on Twitter that I'm going to share with you, and then we're going to get into a few things here. Okay. All right. I think we're ready now. Okay. Another great video from Walt. Coastal Ham Radio exploring SSB QRP with a 20.5-foot vertical antenna. Well, he nails it. He did a great job there. So definitely want to do that. Had a video ready for like eons, but I finally got permission from the manufacturer to release it because they were out of stock. And it was something as simple as a bed liner because the ones that were made for the Tundra, the 5.5-foot bed, is interesting. The factory that made them for Toyota caught on fire and burned to the ground. So they didn't have, after they ran out of stock, they were out. So it was very difficult finding one. Lo and behold, a company approached me. We'd like you to test it. And I'm like, wow, yeah. So I went ahead and I did that. And this thing fits. It's probably the perfect bed liner for a 5.5-foot bed for a Tundra. It fit absolutely perfectly. So, and that was last night's Rotor Talk. For those of you that are, excuse me, guys. Okay, Jeff. We're gonna talk to that. I'm sorry. We're gonna talk about that in a minute. Chris, welcome. Good to see you tonight. But yeah, last night we spent an evening talking about there's going to be a Vegas drone meetup November 8th, 9th, and 10th. If you guys are interested, head over to my Bill the Drone Reviewer channel. All kinds of info on that. Had the organizers of the event on last night. Now, I'm sorry. That was a good show. Looks like a real winner from Michael Martin's right here. Ham Radio Hatu building the POTA Performer. The best ham radio antenna. POTA Performer HF vertical exceeds all expectations. So, and Michael, he pays attention to everything. And I think he probably nailed it right there. So I think that's definitely a video if you want to look. I haven't had a chance to watch that one yet. Okay. I asked 10 YouTubers which HT they carry. So that ought to be a great video. I haven't seen that one. And then Walt did a channel update. Gives you a lot of good information. You definitely want to do that. And then here's a blast from the past. To realistic CB radio walkie-talkies. I actually had ones like that. They were all black, though, and they took crystals back in the day. It was very interesting. I'd gotten one because I wanted some kind of, when I worked at an amusement park over the summer, I wanted something to communicate with. And I worked on a ride by myself at night, which was near a valley, and I could really talk to people there. So, yeah, just don't tell my manager. Oops, I was the manager, so back then. So anyway, okay. All right. We are done with that part. There wasn't a lot there because I wanted to save some time to talk about this. Now we're going to look at, all right. the two from Tokyo Hampere, we found out about the IC 7760 and Yaesu FTX1F here. Okay. So let's go ahead. We're going to look at the icon first here. All right. And what's real interesting, of course, all the specs that we know about it, and I'm sure you guys have seen that. But what's real interesting here, gotta hand it to Gigaparts. They actually put there's a lot of great pictures out here. So let's go ahead and do that. And I want to kind of focus on these two right here because it actually shows the back panel here and what everything is. RF deck connector, external display connector, DVI-D, USB connectors, external keypad jack, electronic keyer jack, send control jack, line in out jacks, external speaker jacks, and DC in jacks. Okay, and this is actually on the back of the other head itself. Antenna connectors you see here, transverter connector, RX antenna in out connectors, BNC, reference frequency input 10 megahertz right here. 5 tuner control socket right there. Control head connector. So that's what you would use to go ahead and connect that to the control head. Ethernet connectors, number 7 right there. Remote control jack, key jack, ALC input jack, send control jack, accessory sockets, number 12. Interesting. USB connector, IQ out. 14 is a ground terminal. 15 is AC power socket, and 16 is main power switch. So very, very interesting. Okay. But I really like that they put some additional pictures up regarding this. Now, as you're all aware, all the big three are taking deposits for them right now. $35 deposit. It reserves your place in line. The sooner you get a deposit in, the sooner you'll be called. The estimate on this, from what we're hearing, is about $6,000. And we're going to go over the Yaesu, and then I want to talk about this here in a minute. So let's get to the Yaesu right here. Okay. And again, I just chose these totally random. How I did that. Reservation, reserve yours now. And there was a preliminary information on this. And I got to open up another panel. And it's a Word doc. Okay. And it really gives you a pretty good description of everything about the FTX1F radio right there. And then let's see here. We're going to go back to this. One of the things I can tell you, and this is just for me, I always 6 of one, half dozen of the other. I either prefer making my purchases through either Gigaparts or DX Engineering, and simply for the fact ham radio outlet only has a 10-day return policy. And if there's something beyond 10 days, you're really kind of stuck. You have to go to the manufacturer with it. DX Engineering and Gigaparts have a better return policy, and that's why I have a tendency to go with them on larger purchases. Also, too, with DX Engineering, just to let you guys know, a lot of the times, like when new radios come out, they may not be the first ones to get them. All right, just to let you guys know. I know last time, I forget what radio came out, and people were kind of yipping at them. I think it was an HT. I think it may have been an ICOM HT that had come out. No, it was Kenwood's THD 74 when it came out, and everybody else was getting theirs, and people had put down deposits, and paid for radios with DX Engineering, and they weren't getting them. And yeah, there was a whole mess right there. So I'm going to say for regular orders, my DX Engineering Gigaparts is fine, but for pre-ordering, I would have a tendency to go ahead and go with Gigaparts right now because they have a good return policy, and they really they get them in when they say they're getting them in. There was a big screw up with DX Engineering last time on that. So, but anyway, all right. One of the things that I wanted to talk about, and James, I'm really, I think let's talk about the Yaesu first. I'm thinking the price tag, I think you're going to see it in the ballpark of an IC705. I really do. I think it's going to be about $1,100, $1,200. That's just off the top of my head. All right. And availability, we're probably going to see early 2025, January, February timeframe, maybe. So not in time for Santa, not in time for Christmas, but I think we'll see it early 2025 for sure. More than likely, probably January, end of January, beginning of February kind of time frame. They will be available before you go to Hamcation in February in 2025. That's one of the things I will say. This weekend, all right, after the announcements, now I watched, Josh was live, and I don't know if how many of you guys saw that, with Ray Novak from ICOM going over the 7760. I watched that, and I had heard about the Yaesu, and I put out a video about the Yaesu as well. It literally, I was out on several Facebook groups, and I had to get off Ham Radio Facebook because it was just, the sad hams were just all over the place. Okay, for example, for the Yaesu FTX 1F. Well, you can't do FT8 because you need to get an external cooling fan. It doesn't have an external tuner. It doesn't have an internal tuner with it. You have to buy an external tuner for it. Right away, right off the bat. Those are the two things that I heard immediately with that. Immediately, okay? Hey, Waypoint New England, thanks for stopping by tonight. Appreciate it, my friend. Thank you. Thank you. I don't have to. And then the other thing was, why did it take Yaesu so long to come out with their version of the IC705? What's going on here? And then of course, the standard fare was always, well, it's a Yaesu, so it has a complicated menu system. Immediately. I mean, it hasn't even been in the hands of anybody to test yet, and they're saying these things, okay? John Kruk doesn't even, from Yaesu, he doesn't even know about some of these things yet, okay? And these guys out there, these armchair sad hams, they're telling you everything. They're telling you why you shouldn't get this radio, okay? And you know what? And I'm going to say this, guys. There's enough negative going on out there every day to, just make you want to just crawl in a hole and just, not pay attention to everything that's going on, okay? Exactly, James. Yeah, well, we don't know a darn thing about it, and I can tell you after, what was it? I think the FDM 500 came out, the portable for cars. It had a better menu system with it. I was pretty impressed with it, and I have to say this: my Yaesu FT5DR, I like the menu system on that as well. I think Yaesu is making a lot of strides towards improving these things. So, yeah. I mean, it was just ad nauseum, one thing after another about the Yaesu. And I'm like, you know what? Nobody has even really physically, I mean, it was physically present at the Tokyo Ham Fair, but nobody's really gotten their hands on one to test at all. John Kruk, who works for Yaesu, he hasn't even had one yet. Okay. And he put out a nice post about that, said, when more information comes available, we'll get it out to you. And when people get a chance to get their hands on it and review it, hopefully maybe Jason or Josh will get their hands on these radios and get out there and put out a good review on them. It just boggles my mind. It really just boggles my mind about it. It was like ad nauseum, just the comments, and they were all centered around You have to get a cooling fan for FT8. Okay. You know what? Here's my thing. Yeah. Oh, yeah, James. I agree. I think this is going to be very simple. I don't think there's, and I love the display on it. I'm gonna put my deposit on too. I love the display on it. I think it's fantastic. I think Yaesu did a great job. They did their homework. I think this is going to be a fantastic radio. I really do. Okay. Unlike my 6200, which you guys know, if you've seen, I sold it. All right. Because it's 8 watts. It just didn't cut it. All right. It wasn't going to cut it. And I had a great antenna set up, resonant antenna set up, and I wasn't hitting contacts. And I'm like, you know what? No. So I sold it. All right. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put down deposit for the FTX1F. I'm imagining, like I said, earliest I think we'll see it is January, maybe February kind of time frame. So that's that for the Yaesu. Now let's go over to the ICOM, and I wanted to spend a few minutes talking about that. I thought I had it up, but it kind of disappeared on. The first thing I want to say about this is, Yaesu was really smart with their numbering system here on this. Okay, notice 7760, 60th anniversary kind of deal right there. So, and it has a very impressive list of specifications on here. Okay, 200 watts, 15 separated, bandpass filter, digi select and preamp, advanced RF direct sampling system, dual independent receivers. That's big right there. Flexible in-house remote operation. That's huge. That's nice. You physically saw the head. I know you've probably seen the videos on that. In CW mode, receiver, transmitter, operation right here. It's going to be an incredible radio. Okay. So what's the first thing? Okay. The first thing, all right, people are saying, it's too expensive. Well, you know what? It's not the most expensive radio out there, guys. All right. And for the features see, I get this all the time. Yeah, it does have a beautiful display. It really does. It really does. And, and I wanted to answer on the FTA, James. Thank you for bringing that up. What I wanted to say about that with FTA, it's better to do that at home. It's a resource hog. It's gonna eat up a lot of power, and it's probably best to run that from one of your receivers at home, especially hooked up to your laptop or desktop. Okay, because out in the field, it's gonna eat up a ton of your battery. Okay, it's a power hog, and that's why it's always better, I think, for me to do something like that at home. All right. They made it so it'll do it. That's good. So you buy a cooling fan for it if you want to do that out in the field. There's ends your complaint right there. Okay. Now for the Yaesu here, all right. First thing right up that $6,000. I'll tell you something. I've seen this before when drones are being released. Oh, that's too expensive. They don't know what they're doing. They're charging way too much money for that. Okay. Well, look at what some of the other radios are. Look at the feature set, and look what you're getting with that. It may not be 6; it may be closer to 5. All right, but for the feature set and for what you get for this radio, all right, it's state of the art. It's advanced digital electronics in there. They really kind of upped the game here. Okay, they really have made a statement with this radio, and yeah, it's not my cup of tea because number one, I can't afford it. But you know what? There are a lot of hams out there who have deep pockets and can afford something like this. All right. But again, the thing is, most of them automatically completely reject that. Yep, Jeff, I agree 100%. I agree 100% with that. Okay. I wouldn't get one, but a lot of people, and see, here's the thing right here. All right. I saw, like I said, the number one complaint about this was the cost. All right. But you know what? You're going to see people will be lining up for pre orders for this as well, too. All right. Because it has a unique feature set. and it's not. I mean, there's some Icom radios out there that are $18,000-$20,000. All right, this is 6 or 5, whatever it is. We don't have a final price on that yet, but people are just going bonkers over the price, and I'm like, wait a minute here, let's dial it back here for a second. All right, uh, you know, look at the feature set. Look what's in there. Look what the value for your dollar for what you're getting for this. Okay, it's a truly incredible feature set. Even Ray Novak, he doesn't know all the features of it yet, because he's getting up to speed on that. But yeah, I think this is going to be a fantastic radio. And if I had the money, I mean, I'm trying to retire. I'm trying to get my teeth issue addressed. I got thousands of dollars going out with this sometime either late this year or early next. I mean, it's if I could, I'd afford it. I really would. I really would. Yeah, James. Yeah, that's that. See, and a lot of people are like that, and that's fine. Okay, that's absolutely fine. Yeah, Chris. Yeah, it is a lot of money. Okay, it is a lot of money, but when you take it in context of what you're getting for the radio and the value for the dollar, it really kind of pans out. Now, for us, a lot of us, that is kind of above our league, especially with me trying to get ready to retire. Okay, that's not going to fit into my 7300 is a absolutely fine rig. It kicks butt. Okay, I get my 100 watts out there. I get a nice resonant vertical antenna up and going. It's sweet. All right, it gets you exactly. It's exactly where it was. Yeah, exactly, James. Thank you for posting that. If your station needs this over the 7600, 7610, Flex 6400 to build your mega station, sold to that buyer. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, James. Thank you. That's a great comment. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I really don't have a shack right now because I have a work desk back there behind me. I mean, that's going to be my shack. Well, what I'm going to do is my computer that's over here by the window, I'm moving everything back there. And this is going to be my shack because it's going to be out by the window. And then I'm going to be drilling a hole through the wall. Shh, don't tell my wife. Going to drilling a hole through the wall and doing a pass through like DirecTV does to get my coax in. We'll get that squared away. But that'll get taken care of, at that point in time. But yeah, I know what you're saying. So yeah, it's like people need to it's exciting. Okay, getting new radios, getting an opportunity. Yeah, I do too, Cooley. I think it's absolutely fantastic. I wish I had the funds to be able to do something like that. I think dual receivers, the bandpass filters on that. I think it's going to be a kick butt radio. I really do. I think it's gonna really knock the socks off a lot of people. I mean, but for me, my 7300 does exactly what I needed to do. Okay. You get a nice resonant antenna up there. Here's my thing. All right. If you get a nice resonant antenna, all right, the sky's the limit. It really is. And, people talk about tuner for the new Yaesu FDX1 and 1F. I'm like, you know what? You have a nice resonant antenna. Boom. All right. Done. All right. And most of the guys I've seen, like I watched Mike K at MRD, Ham Radio 2. He did one on the Yaesu. He's excited about it. And this is something to be excited about. Okay. That's within the realm and the reach of a lot of us. All right. Yeah, Cooley. Yeah. I'm gonna have to save for the Yaesu. But that's several months down the road. So that'll give me some time to be able to do that. I just want to take my number and get in line for it. That's where that's at. So, but yeah, I mean, that's where it's at as far as that's concerned. So, but yeah, it was, I had, like I said, I had to get off a lot of these Facebook groups because the negativity was it was through the roof. I mean, it was just so bad. I'm like, guys, appreciate something. 2 new radios have come out and they're fantastic. And instead of complaining, appreciate the fact you're getting new technology in, especially with the Yaesu, it's probably it is going to be affordable. I believe it's probably going to be right around the IC705 kind of price, which is very doable. That's very affordable for most of us, including me. That's something that I can handle. So be excited about this, okay? Number one, be excited about it. Number two, enjoy what you own already. I mean, my gosh, I mean, I have an IC705. That's just it's hard. It's hard to get better for me than an IC705 and my IC7300. Those are just fantastic. And then I think for me, I've been always been a fan of Yaesu HTs in my FT5DR. Golden, absolutely golden. I'm on the hunt right now. Yeah, I saw that. I saw Kenwood had something out about that as well. New radio drives new technology in the hobby. Technology general filter their way down to lower price points. Absolutely, Jeff. Great statement. Exactly. You guys are fountains of wisdom. I wish you would talk to some of these guys out there on some of these groups. Oh my gosh. Almost getting a headache from reading what these guys were saying out there. It was so bad. And I was telling my wife, we're going to dinner that night, and I was telling her, I said, and I try to explain things simply to her regarding ham radio, because it can get, you guys know, okay? And she understands. She understands a lot of the basic principles behind it. And I was explaining it to her, and I said, I just don't get it, all right? New technology comes out. It's going to really make a difference for us and really help us to get out there and communicate, which is the name of the game. And what is it? That people are just complaining about it ad nauseum. I mean, it was like, I didn't see many positive posts about Mike's video, K and MRD. He's really the only video I watched on it. Very positive. He's ready to get one. Okay. And same here. I'm ready to get the ASU too. I just absolutely, it's going, and I think the filtering system on that is going to be fantastic. It may even be a tad bit better than an IC705. Shh. I didn't say that. Ray, you didn't hear me say that. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, Ray Novak said the tech in the 7300 shut upward in the 7610. Yep, absolutely. Ray and John, there are great fountains of wisdom and great knowledge sources. And I watched John. Jason will have him on. I can listen to John for hours. The way he explains things. I watched the video Jason did with him on the FTM 500, I think, when it came out. John was fantastic. Walked Jason through the menu system and a lot of stuff. John is just wow. And you know what's great about John? He will answer your questions out there on these rigs. I think he's on Yaesu has a main Facebook group kind of deal, and he'll answer questions for you out there. That's good. Ray's good about that too. But I think Ray's a little busier. Ray's like hither, and he's in Japan, he's in Seattle, he's on the West Coast, he's on the East Coast. Ray's bouncing all over the place here. Just yeah, James. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate like an empty beer can. Absolutely. I want to thank you guys tonight. This was great. I always have a lot of fun, and I appreciate each and every one of you guys taking a half hour out of your Wednesday night evening to come in and tune in with us. It's exciting. I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited as well too. I know I'm excited about the 7760, even though I'm not going to get one, but I'm real excited about the ASU because I get paid tomorrow. I'm going to put my $35 deposit down on it. So that's going to be TBD, and I'm looking forward to it. I think that's going to be a great radio. I had really high hopes for the 6200, but it just did not pan out. Even with a resonant antenna, it just wasn't there. Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate that. And like I said, I appreciate each and every one of you guys. You do absolutely fantastic on here. I really, really, really like that. Really, really like that. And let's see here. I want to do something here. Oh. Okay, James, I gave you a wrench, made you a moderator on here. I saw that you didn't have one. So I know everybody else has one, and I wanted to get that for you. I know everybody else is, but I wanted to get you set up on that too. So you guys absolutely rock. Just, I get more information about these, anything pricing, anything, I'll get it out there. let you guys know about it. Thank you guys so much. Like I said, I really appreciate each and every one of you. We're going to have a great giveaway in December. I have a ton of swag that's going to go out, just literally a ton of swag. Going to give away some HTs, going to give away ham radio prep courses. Just going to have a blast. That's coming up. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. As always, guys, remember, it's a great day to make a QSO. 7-3, everybody.